Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the argumentative essay. Before we go to an example, we're going to analyze the outline format for a standard five-paragraph essay. It has an introduction, it has a body, and it has a conclusion. In the introduction, there are different aspects that you need to take into consideration. For example, you need to start with something creative that can catch the audience attention, because if you want people to read what you write, you need to talk about things that are interesting. Especially you need to try to captivate them at the beginning. If you do that, people are going to be interested and they're going to read the complete essay. uh, Another thing that you can do is that you can include quotes, interesting facts, figures, or jokes or anecdotes in your introduction at the beginning. Another thing is background information and a preview of the main points of the essay. But something that you need to always have, it is a thesis statement, uh, in which you're going to affirm the main idea of the essay. The thesis statement is like the heart of the essay, because the rest of the essay is going to be used to explain, to justify, to convince people about your point in the thesis statement. So, for example, if your topic is exercise, in your thesis statement, you can have an opinion about exercise, and then you can try to convince people during the complete essay to see exercise the way that you do. Then, when we finish with the introduction, we go with the body. The body can has one, two, three, four paragraphs, depending on what you need to explain or what you need to justify in your essay. In this case, when you begin a paragraph, you need to have a topic sentence, and that topic sentence is the one that states the main idea of the paragraph, and it also has a connection with the previous paragraph, in this case, the introduction, because you need to connect all the paragraphs. Because if you don't, your essay is not going to have unity. You want your essay to have unity so that it doesn't look like random information from everywhere. It looks like one complete composition. Uh, After you have your topic sentence, you can use, or you need to use, supporting details to defend that idea, to support that idea. For example, if you are saying that exercising is good for your body, you need to give examples that support why is it good, when is it good, or what are some of the reasons why it is good. Uh, and if you use, uh, let's say, sources like magazine articles or newspaper articles, you need to you need to cite those sources so that people understand that you are not just inventing or creating information, but that you're using facts. Uh, and then we have here for paragraph number two, the same idea. You have a topic sentence that states the main idea of the paragraph and transition from the paragraph before it. So again, you need to have that connection within the paragraph. And you can use that formula for all the other paragraphs. Then we have here a conclusion. The conclusion is very connected to the introduction because in the introduction you are going to establish your main idea of the essay. You are going to have your thesis. And in the conclusion, you're going to restate that thesis, but you're going to use it with different words. So we're going to see that in the example that we're going to have later. But the idea is that if you are claiming that exercising is good for your body, you can say the same idea in the conclusion with using different words like exercising has many benefits for the human body. And also, you need to summarize the main points. So here you have, let's say, two or three different paragraphs depending on your case. In this case, it is three because it is a five paragraph format. So you can summarize the main points. That will be using the idea from the topic sentence and rephrasing it, making them shorter so that you can summarize them. Let's see. And then we have the time to opening. The student should relate their conclusion to their opening of the essay. Again, as I told you before, there is a big connection between, uh, let me do something here, between the introduction and the conclusion. They are very connected because in the introduction, you are saying what you're going to talk about, what your idea, what your point of view is. And then in the body, you are going to, let me change the color here. In the body, you are going to give more details and justify your opinion, your idea, your thesis. And then in the conclusion, you're going to say something like, okay, you see, all that information proves that my introduction was correct. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that exercise is good for your body, and you have all the reasons here in the body. And in the conclusion, it's like reinforcing that idea. Well, that is it for this. Now, let me go to the example.